Hi, this is Jerry Fowler. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to give you a preview of the year upcoming 2010 and our efforts with regard to Sudan. But before I do that, one thing that I definitely have to do is thank you so much for all of the energy and the efforts that you have put into Sudan advocacy over the course of the last year. We have succeeded in putting this on the Obama administration's agenda. Now our challenge is keeping it there and keeping the attention of the President. And as we move forward, one of our most important tasks will be to continue to push for presidential leadership. When the President accepted the Nobel Prize a couple of weeks ago, he said that the world must stand together as one to confront recalcitrant regimes. And one of the regimes that he was talking about is the National Congress Party regime in Sudan. But the fact is that the world cannot stand together as one unless there is vigorous and sustained and personal leadership from President Obama. And I would say my major disappointment over the course of the last year is that we have not seen enough of that from him with regard to Sudan. So as we move forward, that will be a key priority, not only to keep this on the agenda of the administration, but to get it on the agenda of the President himself. And there are going to be tremendous challenges in Sudan as we go forward. First, with regard to Darfur, the civilian population there remains extremely vulnerable, and there are huge swaths of Darfur that are not accessible to humanitarian organizations. As you all know, the government of Sudan kicked out major humanitarian aid organizations in March. Through heroic efforts by agencies that were left behind and by the United Nations, the key life-saving gaps have been filled, and the catastrophe that the Khartoum government set in motion has been averted. But the situation is not sustainable, we're told by aid organizations. There has to be a continued push to ensure unfettered humanitarian access and security for Darfuris. A lot of the action in Sudan over the next few months will be focused on the elections that are scheduled for April. Right now, there is simply no environment for there to be free and fair elections. There is not freedom of speech, there is not freedom of association, there is not freedom for people to campaign politically. Unless open space is created for Sudanese to address the problems of Sudan, there's only the prospect for more violence. So we will be focusing on pushing the U.S. government to make sure that political space is opened in Sudan. And if it is not open, to be very clear that elections are not credible. The worst outcome would be if an incredible election, an election that is not free and fair, were to legitimize the war criminal Omar al-Bashir. We cannot let that happen. It's going to be a very eventful year. The work that we have done so far has saved lives. It has made Sudan an issue for this administration and for the U.S. government. But our work is not done. We enter a volatile year. Civilian lives will hang in the balance, but our efforts can continue to make a difference. Thanks for all your support. I look forward to working together as we move into 2010.